Hello everybody, it's me! How's it going? I hope you are well. We are 1 month into Project Lunar Marathon, where I try to make 22 games in about 26 months. There's a Discord, there's a Patreon, and there's an itch page where you can see all the projects and get information, devlogs, all that stuff. Information in the void. Month 1 was the visual novel, and it actually went really well. I'm surprised. I thought it was gonna be one of the easier ones, that's why it's at the beginning, but I was surprised about how easy it was. Like, there was a lot of challenges with the coding. There were a lot of times where it was like I got really stuck, or I didn't know what I was doing, or things wouldn't work. But on the whole, I generally kind of steamrolled through each week pretty happily. I think by the end of week 1, I kind of had everything I wanted to get done. My friend gave me a translation figured out how to do all that. I had partial save and loading, I had images coming in and tweening into the side, I had everything in place. All I needed was basically the actual artwork, and then the story. So yeah, really surprised at how smooth it went, and really happy. I don't know whether that's setting myself up for disappointment later, or whether we're gonna keep steamrolling through, but that is yet to be seen. So one of the things I really enjoyed the most about the visual novel was definitely kind of putting together the systems. So rather than specifically like creating the story, I really liked putting together the dialogue system that would put it up. I really liked creating the save and load system, even though some of it's hard-coded, like there are 2 slots basically. You can basically pick either one, and that's kind of hard-coded into the game, where it's like slot 1 or slot 2, and so there is some duplicate code, which is not great, and I'd like to fix later in maybe a future game. But generally I'm happy with like how well the system worked and how well things can be expanded. I'm not over worried about optimization, because I feel like optimization doesn't really need to be worried about unless there's a problem to fix. But I do like kind of keeping expansion and use of the tool, right? If I'm going to build something like an actual system that's maybe going to be used 3 or 4 times, I'd rather spend the time to get it kind of working well now, knowing that it's going to pay off those extra times I use it. So I think putting some effort into the save and load, putting some effort into the understanding how to make translations and get all that done, I think was really worth it. I'm really pleased with it. And I really like the fact that I got profiles, settings profiles. So a player can go in, they can change all their settings the way they want them to be, and then they can save it under their name. And the next time they start a new game, they can load that profile back in so that they get all the settings they had before without having to go into the settings screen and do the same thing twice. And I am really happy with that system. I'm really glad I managed to get it done. It was something I really wanted to do. I was hoping that maybe I could take that system across the games, but I think each game's going to be so different. Each game's going to need such different settings, and they're not really going to be transferable enough to do that. But it does mean that I can have the same system for each game, and players will be able to just, they go in once, set everything up, save it as their name, and they're ready to go. Month 2 is the platformer. I'm really looking forward to this one because it's so different, and I feel like it will be a sort of step up in terms of what coding I need and how I put things together. But I still think it's completely doable. I've got a handful of tutorials in my pocket, just in case, which is the same thing that I did with the visual novel, and is the same thing I'll be doing for all of the projects. Like, the whole point is that I'm new. Sometimes I need to look stuff up or get a bit of help with how to start the logic. But I know what I really want to do, and I've got an idea that I think is going to be very good. So our concept for month 2 is shovel cookie luwak. If you know what that means, fantastic. Hopefully you had a giggle. If you don't know what that means, Google it. It'll be worth it, trust me. So you play as a civet. You'll be running through, it'll be just a standard 2D like side-scrolling platformer. So you will be running and jumping over platforms, wall jumping hopefully. I'd like to get things like obviously coyote time, jump buffering, all those standard like quality of life things. But I'd like to get some interesting movement mechanics in as well. So maybe a dash, maybe a wall jumping and wall sliding, maybe like a double jump. Maybe swimming is one that I'm really interested in. I'd like to get things like moving platforms because that's, again, it's just a bit of interest and also it sort of teaches me how to kind of do them. So I'd like to get all that stuff set up. I think that would be really nice if I could get some of those like features in that aren't just the basic run and jump. You'll be collecting items. I'm hoping there will be an enemy that will chase you unless it is distracted. So we're probably looking at things like state machines, which is really interesting. Never done state machines before. Probably do a state machine for the player as well. So that's it, I think. Get to the end of the level. Get to the portal or the exit or whatever. And then you will move on to the next level and play until you finish the game. And if you lose, then, or if you get caught by an enemy, then you will get basically transferred back to the start of the level. Or to the last checkpoint. I think checkpoints would be a good one for me to try and implement. I think that would be really useful to try and figure out how to do those, because I've already got the save and load system ready, so hopefully I can sort of piggyback them on. So wish me luck. I am really excited to get going. Remember all the information down below, and there's a playlist for if you haven't seen the videos so far up in a corner somewhere. So check that out to see all the videos so far, and check the games out on itch. They are completely free. They do come up asking if you want to donate some money when you open it, but you do not have to. That's completely optional. If you just say no, or if you just put in 0, then it will just take you to the download for free. There is absolutely no obligation to spend any money on any of the games. And if anyone's wondering where you can get the code, I'm afraid that is a Patreon only perk. $10 a month gets you all the videos and everything, plus the code to the games. So I'm happy to tell people how I did stuff. I'm happy to give people the sort of logic of how I implemented stuff, but I won't be sharing the code because that is a specific Patreon perk. Wish me luck. I'll see you in sort of a month-ish. Have a good one.